And then obviously the big huge movie of probably the year, honestly. It's been that anticipated. You and I saw last night, Dan, which is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
We are not going to spoil it. So Matt hasn't seen.
We'll keep it.
Matt's you're going tomorrow, I think. So we're not going to spoil anything about it.
We'll keep it brief.
We'll keep it brief. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I think it's fun as hell. Like
it's probably my favorite of the 3 Deadpool movies.
For sure. I think there's a couple reasons why, but it's not a perfect movie by any means, but
no,
it is very fun. It's exactly what I kind of wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I told you when it was over, it was like 8.5, I would say, probably out of 10.
Yeah. It's I was at an 8 out of 10.
It's got a couple problems. Some of the pacing is a little off. There are parts where it is slow. And for a movie like this, where the rest of it is very like go, 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 action, 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 when it's not doing that, you kind of are like, all right, when are we going to get back to it? And some of the CG is bad.
Some of the CG is bad.
It looks cartoony, but it's not supposed to.
There is something at the end of, like, towards the end of the movie, and I obviously we're speaking very around it, but when you see it, and you'll notice it, Matt, it looks like a cartoon.
It's out of place,
and it shouldn't. It looks, when it comes out onto the screen, you will notice it and go, boy, that doesn't look like it fits this movie, kind of a thing. But even then, you still go. You're going to this movie to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman fuck around for 2 hours. Like
pretty much.
That's what everybody has wanted forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you finally get it in this movie, and they deliver. They deliver on that part of it. The actual plot of the movie, I think, is a little flimsy at times because they are trying to tie it into what's going on in Marvel a little bit.
But they really don't, though. By the end of the movie, it's just a standalone story that really doesn't move the MCU forward in any way.
No, like there's no ramifications for whatever's going to happen.
My hope with going into it was this was going to be the chance they had to say fuck all this and then fix the MCU so that going forward it isn't a mess. It's not even close. There's a scene very early in the movie after the opening credits where he is in. This isn't. Well, no, he's in the MCU, but like that scene doesn't even need to be in the movie.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the interview doesn't need to be in the movie.
Yeah, okay. That was the thing I mentioned to my girlfriend today. I'm like, because we were watching a couple different reviews of it on YouTube, and I told her, because the one of the reviews we watched, guy was like, there are certain scenes that drag on too long.
Yeah.
That is, and I looked at her, I said, that is a scene in the movie I felt dragged on too long.
I feel like it doesn't even
could have cut that in half.
That doesn't even be there. Because it has no ramifications for anything that happens after it.
There really isn't. There really isn't.
So it's very much a self-contained Deadpool movie that at the same time apologizes for everything Fox did and what Disney has done. It's strange. It crosses so many lines to different things that at some points it does kind of feel all over the place. But it's also what made it fun. Like
they are not afraid. Like it is a movie that is not afraid to make fun of recent decisions that Marvel has made.
Yeah,
there are a couple of jokes in there. One in particular that I cannot mention because it spoils a cameo. But I was kind of surprised. Like, wow, that's cutting pretty deep for them.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm surprised that made it.
The cameos are great.
Oh, they're fantastic.
It includes a couple you will not see coming at all.
There is one in particular that I would have never guessed, and when it happened, it made the entire movie for me.
So you're talking about the second one, not the other one.
I'm talking about later in the movie.
Yeah, okay. Where
the other one that you're talking about
is crazy.
Is something that people were talking about for a while, but it was one of those, like, I don't think they'll ever do it.
Right.
So that's all I'll say about that.
Not only that, but like also, the one you're talking about, there's another one in that scene that I would argue is crazy.
Oh, I know what you're I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And that's even more fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I had to explain, and that was when I had to explain to my girlfriend. Yeah, because she didn't understand. But like, it's crazy that they did that here.
There's jokes that pay off stuff that happened like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's it's just a wild ride with, again, a pretty weak plot for like him having to save the world, quote unquote, and the solution to it is a cop out in a way, but it's, I don't know, it's worth it. Like, it's so fun and dumb, and
I think it is very smart of Marvel to, especially this year, cut everything else back and have this be their only movie this year, because I think that's only going to help it too. I think they perfectly put it in a great slot for when it come out, because again, in the next couple of weeks, you look at the movies coming out, what's it going to compete with?
Nothing. It's going to be number one for a month.
Like, even that Alien movie comes out August 16th, it's not going to beat Deadpool.
No.
Maybe, but not by much.
Well, and it does fit in the MCU stuff in a good time where it's kind of like take a breather before we restart the major stuff with Captain America.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the next big movie is February, Captain America. I think the next TV show is the Agatha thing, which is in September.
That lives in its own world.
It's its own thing, though.
But the Captain America is going to be the kickoff to Avengers 5 and 6.
Exactly.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So this will be planting the seeds, and then we've got Thunderbolts, which will be another big part of.
I forgot about
probably
that. Probably
setting up future Avengers movies. Like, I think the whole thing is, I think right now, we're not even necessarily building towards Avengers 5. I think the whole point is we're building towards Secret Wars for 6.
Okay.
We're going to be trying to get in as many people as possible and try to find a way to get them all to meet at this point. Because for Secret Wars, I don't know what path they're going to go. Because Secret Wars in the comics is a very strange event where basically the Beyonder pulls people into Battle World and they all fight each other, kind of a thing. And like that just seems like that would be kind of out of place in an MCU that is at least somewhat grounded in reality. I know that's a weird thing to say, but like having an alien being pull them to some other fucking planet to fight doesn't really fit in what we've done.
They ever say, are they going to do a third season of that Loki show, or is that done?
I don't think they've said. I don't know if they can.
Because also at the same time, like it kind of seems like maybe this is going to put a pin on multiverse stuff.
Yeah, well, and the end of Loki tried to do that. And the way Loki season 2 ends is not conducive to a season 3. I don't know how you would fix that.
Yeah.
That
I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler to say, like, they make fun of multiverses in this movie.
Yeah, they reference episodes of TV shows like this out loud, which is really funny. Like the fourth wall stuff is all really well done.
It's probably, I would argue, the fourth wall stuff is the best of any of the Deadpool movies in this one.
Yeah,
nice.
So just by nature,
it's a fantastic movie. I honestly can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like I would like to see it again simply because there were a lot of scenes too where like you might have missed some stuff because people were laughing so loud at some of the stuff,
or were shocked of certain things that happened.
But it's a great time. It's easily going to make $1 billion,
and it does set up. You know, it doesn't really set up like another movie per se, but it does. It's open. They could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like there'll be another Deadpool movie just because this is going to make a ton of money. It is almost crazy how much freedom they clearly gave him to do whatever he wanted. I would be very interested to see the kind of stuff they had to be like, okay, well, you can't do that though, because
I'd be curious
they push the limits on everything.
Damn.
Like I said, there are a couple of jokes made directly at the expense of Marvel that I was like, well, I'm surprised they were like, yeah, that's fine. Like,
well, I think Marvel has seen with like the recent movies and stuff that
they have.
We're starting to lose it.
Yeah,
like Kevin Feige, because Kevin Feige, you didn't watch all of She-Hulk, right?
No.
She-Hulk at the end, the final episode gets very self-referential.
I've read about it.
About how the MCU's kind of fucked up and some of this stuff doesn't really make sense anymore. So they're not afraid to call themselves out because...
No.
But it's because they're making comic books into movies and comic books don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so you can't blame them for a lot of stuff. It's amazing to think that we're this deep in the MCU and even with the multiverse stuff that's going on, there is some semblance of an overall story that is still intact. Even with the retcons and the time travel and the multiverse, like, there's still kind of one big story that is still somewhat intact. That's impressive in its own right.
It is.
But I don't know. We need to get to Avengers 6, do Secret Wars, and then just like everything's done and start over.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that's the other reason why on the flip side of it, I'm excited to see if we can finally get this DC stuff taken off in a great direction with Superman. Because, like I said, up until this Deadpool movie, I've been very lukewarm on everything Marvel. Like there's been a hitter that, like, Guardians 3 was a fantastic
Spider-Man, stuff like that.
Spider-Man No Way Home. This easily is in that threshold of
this is
Marvel.
Top tier Marvel movie.
This is a top tier movie. So, but that's why I'm excited, because I'm hoping that takes off and we have something to compete, because maybe that will also be a good kick for them.
Well, and one of the things rumors floating around now, and I don't know how true this would be, but Avengers 5 obviously isn't going to be Kang related anymore.
No.
But the new thing is now, thanks to the end of the Marvels and with Deadpool essentially bringing the Fox stuff in, the Avengers 5 could be Avengers versus X-Men, like they did that event in the comics.
Okay.
Which is a kind of a really interesting way to bring both things together.
It is.
And have that be like their first big meeting is a really big conflict about stuff. And I think that's a little bit heavy-handed for a movie, but it would need setup is a problem.
The other thing I'll say here too is, like, it's even left open-ended on, like, I'm sure Hugh Jackman will put the costume on again and he'll play Wolverine.
He doesn't have to, though.
But the thing is, I don't think it'll be at the capacity for a full movie like this. I think it will be cameo related. And at this point, I think this is now the perfect time to, if you wanted to pass the torch and have a brand new team of X-Men and actors, you could do
Or ride this stuff out to Avengers 6 and then say definitively, like, that story is over, and we're gonna tell a new story, and we're gonna start with new people, and we're gonna change everything. That's when you can finally reset this stuff. Because part of me was thinking about, we've talked about like Tom Holland and will he come back as Spider-Man and stuff. At this point, why don't we just get him to come back for those 2 Avengers movies and just say we're done? You don't have to make a Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
Because at the end of 3, everything is wiped clean. And the rest of it can be up to your imagination to him, what he does with the rest of his life. But to have him pop in for Avengers 5 and 6 would be...
He kind of has to be there, right?
Right. So I think that would be there to provide closure to his story.
Yeah.
Or if 6 is going to be Secret Wars, he initially gets the symbiote suit in Secret Wars. So what you could do is put him in 6, and he gets the suit, and then you get one more Spider-Man movie where he has the suit, and
Tom Hardy
comes up. Tom Hardy shows up, and
The Last Dance,
and then Toxin shows up, and all the symbiotes. Like,
oh gosh,
I forgot that Venom movie's coming. Oh,
yeah.
It's crazy that there's only one Marvel Studios movie this year, but there are 3 Sony ones.
Wow,
because you had Madam Web, you have Kraven.
Wow, do we have Kraven?
And you got Venom: The Last Dance. So, boy.
But I was thinking maybe we don't need really to do a Spider-Man movie or any of these other things, and just have it all be like, we're not going to get another Ant-Man movie.
No,
but I would love for him to be there for 5 and 6 for Avengers. Like,
nice. I can see that.
And by that point, all these people are too old to continue to play the roles in this story. Start it over.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, because by that point, it'll have been fucking 30 years that this universe has existed almost.
Pretty much, yeah. That's crazy to think about, but yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, Deadpool, I gave it an 8 out of 10. You said 8.5.
Easily the best
worth
Deadpool movie.
Yeah,